The purple transparent backplate for the Steam Deck is finally here and the nostalgia is kicking in hard. Let's see what else is in the box, then we'll see if the installation is easy or not, and we'll talk about all the pros and cons along the way. Before we start, I want to give you a shout out to JSAUX for sending me this backplate. Although they were kind enough to send this over, my opinions on the product are entirely my own. Right, let's get to the unboxing. Inside the minimalist box, we get 3 extra back buttons for different heights. We'll get back to these ones in a minute. Then we have a screwdriver and a plastic prying tool and some rubbers. Moving on, the last thing in the box, the transparent backplate. First impression is that the color is different from what I've seen so far online, but we'll have to install it and see how it goes on the Steam Deck. Oh, and as a first impression, the material seems to be pretty good. Moving on to the installation, a very important thing to remember, before doing anything else, make sure to power off your Steam Deck and please remove your SD card. There are so many cases out there where people forgot about this and they managed to snap their SD card in half. I recommend adding a soft fabric under the Steam Deck, just for a better protection of the screen and thumbsticks. Inside the box we have extra screws for the backplate, but also the back buttons that we talked about earlier. I'll be using the original screws, but it's great that we have spare ones. And let's not forget about the rubber finger protection. Yeah, it doesn't feel awkward using these at all. Maybe I'll just take the risk and I'll do this without them. Much better. We have 8 screws in total, 4 on the sides, which are a bit longer, and 4 in the middle. Make sure to remember the correct order, but if you do forget, you also have the instructions provided in the box, which will tell you the proper way of using them. Next, we use the prying tool to separate the two halves of the shell. The backplate easily comes off and there are no wires that you need to disconnect. And there's the inside of the Steam Deck in all its glory. Comparing the two backplates, the shape is of course very similar. Besides the obvious color differences, we are missing the Valve logo on the JSAUX one, but we do get this thermal pad on this one. More on that in a minute. I mentioned that we get 3 extra back buttons for different heights. For me personally, the original back buttons are not that comfortable to press, so I want to try out different ones. For now, I'll use the middle height and I'll see in time if I need to swap them for others. We can easily add the chosen buttons on the backplate using the provided screws. This way I'll keep the original backplate with the standard buttons for an easy swap if I need it. 2 screws for each back button and we are done. I mentioned the thermal pad we have on this plate. This is from a soft material that will help out with the heat coming from the Steam Deck. More on that later. Now with everything ready, we can simply set the backplate on the Steam Deck. We gently press it on the sides to click in its place, and that's about it. Using the same screws, we also set it in its place, we add back the SD card and the installation is now complete. As you can see, the color looks a lot different now, as there isn't too much light running through it anymore, and I like the darker tone we get in this way. The plate fits perfectly with the Steam Deck. There aren't any gaps anywhere. The lifted back buttons don't interfere in any way so far. I'll have to see if this happens with cases though. The black and purple fit pretty well. Of course, having a full shell in the same tone would be preferred, but it still looks great, at least for me. I am really curious if the lifted back buttons make the process of inserting this in a case difficult. I am using the JSAUX case, for which I already made a video, and it seems that you do need to be just a bit more careful with the buttons, but nothing too big. And with this case you can still partially enjoy the transparent back, but I think for now I'll be using the Steam Deck naked. I just love the end result. It is a personal preference for sure, but I find this look amazing. And even though the purple is not my favorite color, I wanted this for the Nintendo nostalgia. We all know the transparent purple era of Nintendo, and this brings us back to those times. And about the thermal pad, I'm not a professional in testing this out the proper way, but I did notice lower temperatures in games, and you can actually feel the heat being spread through it. I will tell you that this pad on the back will get very hot very fast. You won't get any burns while touching it, but trust me, you will feel the heat. JSAUX is making this plate in 6 different colors, with clear, tawny, red, blue, green, and the purple over here, and they are priced at $29.99. As you've just seen in this video, the installation of the plate was super easy. if only we could do it that easy on the front shell as well to have a full experience. For now, I will be planning on using the Steam Deck naked just to enjoy this look as much as possible, but I am planning on adding some skins on the front. I'm actually working on this video already, and if you've seen my post here on YouTube community tab, you had a sneak peek of what's coming. So please consider subscribing so you won't miss new videos here on the channel. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll answer each and one of you. And let me know what you think about this new look. Is this something you see yourself doing to your Steam Deck? I would love to hear your opinion. Before we go, make sure to click on this video over here where I give you my 1-year impressions of the Steam Deck. That's it for now. This is the Tech Unravel and I'll catch you in the next video.